Hello, good morning. We're just hours away from the Joy News National Dialogue on Media Freedom. My name is Faustina Safo. We're live on DSTV channel 421, Go TV channel 125, across all our social media handles. We're Joy News on TV. Coming up, Ghana Health Service worried about the rise in Rubella and measles outbreak in the Volta region. We're live there to find out why this is happening.
We have children who need to be vaccinated, who we have not reached. So we have a lot of work to do.
And later today, Joy News would host the hashtag Defend Media Freedom Dialogue, and we would be live there as we bring you stakeholders' engagement on this issue. And later, Finance Ministry to provide monthly economic updates in a few minutes. We'll take you live to the Ministry of Finance when that starts. My name is Faustina Safo. Please take a seat and be my guest. Thanks for choosing us for your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. Now, the Ghana Health Service is worried about an increase in Rubella and measles outbreak in the Volta region within the first half of 2024. Authorities blame the rise on vaccine hesitancy in the region, where several children within the targeted group were left unimmunized. Here is correspondent Fred Kwame Asari's report from a stakeholder engagement in Ho.
Vaccination campaigns have been characterized by hesitancy in the Volta region, leading to low coverage. After 11 COVID-19 vaccination campaigns, only 538,195 persons out of the 1,113,194 have been fully vaccinated by September 2024, representing 48.3% of the targeted population. The Volta Regional Deputy Director of Health, Dr. Kwesi Jokutu, outlined misinformation and disinformation as factors in vaccine hesitancy in his jurisdiction.
When the wrong information gets ahead of people, trying to correct it and giving them the right information to generate demand is always difficult. We've been through this cycle over and over again, and it looks like things have gotten better over time. So people are encouraged to continue to accept the COVID-19 vaccination in their respective facilities close to them. This will enable us to get to the herd immunity and also protect us. Globally, we've seen an upsurge in cases.
He added that COVID-19 vaccination would be made routine to make it accessible to the vulnerable in society. He also noted increasing cases of rubella and measles outbreaks in the Volta region, where several children were left unimmunized by mid-2024.
So looking at our vaccination coverage, especially for measles and rubella, we noticed that it has been below par in a lot of districts. So it wasn't surprising when we had measles outbreaks in the Volta region and into other parts of this country. So because of that, the country will be having a mass campaign in all the 261 districts within the Republic of Ghana. And that will happen from the 2nd to the 6th of October. But what that underlines is that we have children who need to be vaccinated, who we have not reached. So we have a lot of work to do.
He therefore called for a stakeholder collaboration towards increasing vaccination coverage in the region. Fred Kwame Asari, Joy News, Ho.
Now, what is rubella? Let's tell you all about it. It's coming up on your screen shortly. We've put together some data about it, and it's coming up on your screen shortly. We'll also later be speaking to Dr. Senanu Kwesi. But let's tell you all we know about rubella. First, it is a contagious viral infection preventable by vaccine and best known for its distinctive red rash. The disease can spread through direct contact with the saliva or mucus of an infected person or through the air by respiratory droplets produced from coughing or sneezing. Now, what are the symptoms? Symptoms that often appear would come up around 2 to 3 weeks after exposure, and it will also include mild fever and headaches. Now, you could also feel some sort of redness around your eyes and red rashes as well, and your nose may be running during that period. Now, the treatment of the virus actually depends on how severe it is. Now, unfortunately, there's no treatment to get rid of an established infection, but medications may help with symptoms. Now, vaccination can help prevent the disease altogether. The reason why there's a surge in the Volta region is because there's been vaccine hesitancy over there. Well, let's get more on this. We're joined by Dr. Senanu Kwesi Jokoto. He is the Deputy Director of Health in the Volta region. First of all, let's understand the figures as we speak. How many cases have you recorded?
I'm glad to once again engage you and your teaming listeners. We had our stakeholder engagement yesterday, and we looked at the progress that the health sector in the Volta region had made for the first 6 months. We focused on the first 6 months. And we looked at some of the areas for improvement, which included vaccination. We still have not hit our target. Like you mentioned in your report, up to 9,495 children were missed in the first 6 months for measles, rubella vaccination. So that means we still have a lot of work to do. We've recorded some cases, and definitely it's because of the low vaccination rates. The coverage in the Volta region currently, as of half year, was 70%. We are supposed to have recorded at least 90% coverage. That is supposed to be the target. We are doing 70%. Last year, we did 60%, 61% exactly. So it is not surprising that we recorded cases of measles. Last year we recorded, this year we have recorded measles cases in 3 of our districts, Ho, Ketu South, and then Angloga. And nationally, we have also reported cases of rubella, but because of the difficulty with the diagnosis, I'm sure that it is usually underdiagnosed. In most instances, it's very difficult to give you the exact burden of rubella cases within the Volta region, but there is certainly an upsurge in the cases of measles and rubella within the region as we speak.
With some of them who have been able to report to the medical centers where you've collated your data from, how are they faring? Is it actually under control as we speak?
The potential for it to spread is what we want to curb. Once you have vaccines to prevent these diseases, there's no reason why these cases should be allowed to spread. It is better to prevent than to fight. But I can tell you that at this moment, we have not recorded moderate to severe cases, that all these cases have recovered appropriately. But we do not want to get to the point where we are running helter-skelter because of severe cases of these vaccine-preventable diseases. So that is where we are. And rightly in your report, you mentioned that one of the measures that we are taking is to have a reactive campaign from the 2nd to the 9th of October 2024. And this will not only be in the Volta region, because I understand that some other regions within the country have also recorded cases of measles and rubella. So we are engaging all our stakeholders for them to come on board and help us to prevent the measles and rubella cases within the Volta region and by extension within the Republic of Ghana.
What specific measures are you putting in place, especially in the Volta region, to deal with the issue of vaccine hesitancy?
With the issue of vaccine hesitancy, it can usually you look at the convenience of delivering vaccines to the people. One area that you also have to focus on is the confidence that people have in the vaccine. And usually you do this by dispelling the myths and the misinformation, disinformation. Currently, there's a very popular term, infodemics, where anti-vaccination campaigners would deliberately put out information that is not true to discourage people from taking vaccines. It became very pronounced during the COVID-19 pandemic. This is something that we have been grappling with. So the measures included what we did yesterday. We engage religious leaders, traditional leaders. We engage heads of departments, people, influential people from various places within the region, and of course, the media. The media is very critical in this endeavor. That is why we are extremely grateful for this platform this morning. A lot of people in the Volta region listen to you. You're a credible station. And once they get to know that such topical issues are being discussed and issues are put in proper perspective, we create a critical mass that's able to change the perception on vaccination, from COVID-19 vaccination to routine vaccination.
Now, as we wrap up the conversation, we'd like to get a better understanding. Some of these cases reported in the Volta region, was it homegrown or imported from other regions?
So far, we do not have evidence that they were from other regions. These were infections that were recorded firsthand in facilities within the Volta region. Like I mentioned, measles, for instance, was recorded in Ketu South, Ho, and then Angloga. We did not trace these infections from other regions, but it would not be surprising if it was, because a lot of people commute between the Volta region and several other regions, especially Greater Ashanti region. And then also with the knowledge that these cases have also been recorded from other regions, it is possible that some may have migrated from other regions into the Volta region, but certainly there's community spread. And what matters now is for us to break the transmission by ensuring that all our children are protected by them taking the measles rubella vaccination. The first dose is 9 months, the second dose is 18 months.
They say prevention is better than cure. So as we wrap up the conversation, what's your final advice?
The chiefs and people of the Volta region and all the stakeholders, we thank them for their support for the health service over the period. Our philosophy is continuous improvement. And we are appealing to them once again that we want to work hand in hand with them to deal with some of these health scares that we have in the Volta region. We need to achieve our common health goals. So we'll continue to reach out to them so that they'll help us engage the entirety of the populace within the Volta region so that everybody would accept these vaccines that have been proven to be safe and potent over the period. Our prayer and hope is that by the next time we engage you, we would have seen significant improvement in our vaccination rates in the Volta region. And we are once again thanking you and your platform for allowing us the opportunity to engage with our people in the Volta region.
Thank you so much, Doc, for joining us here on News Desk. Well, let's do some other stories now. Principal of Peke College of Education, Dr. Ebenezer Boni, wants government to promptly address the concerns of the College of Education Teachers Association of Ghana, CTAG. Dr. Boni emphasizes that a timely intervention is crucial to prevent further disruption to the academic calendar, which has already been affected by the strike. He has been speaking at a graduation of 214 students from the college.
A total of 215 graduates, including 126 students from the Bachelor of Education Junior High School Education Program and 89 from the Bachelor of Education Upper Primary Education Program, have been awarded degrees. These graduates successfully completed their programs of study during the 2022 and 2023 academic years, fulfilling all requirements for their Bachelor of Education degrees. The principal of Peke College of Education, Dr. Ebenezer Aprabone, reiterated his appeal to government to address SITAC's concerns swiftly.
The strike action by the Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana, SITAC, have significantly disrupted our academic calendar, hindering the education and progress of our students. As the principal of Peke College of Education, I am deeply concerned about the impact of these strikes on our student learning and overall academic journey. Education is the foundation of our nation's future, and it is imperative that we provide a stable and conducive environment for our students to thrive. Therefore, I earnestly appeal to the government of Ghana to intervene and address the concerns of SITAC promptly. It is crucial that a lasting resolution is found to prevent further disruption and ensure that our academic calendar remains intact. We owe it to our students to provide them with uninterrupted education and the best possible opportunities for the future.
He also requested additional support for the college, specifically highlighting the need for the completion of the auditorium and the construction of more student hostels.
I request more support. I appeal to the government of Ghana to expedite the completion of the auditorium and to construct additional hostels for our students. I also call on corporate organizations, NGOs, business tycoons, and suppliers, well-meaning Ghanaians, to contribute to the development of Peke College of Education.
The Vice Chancellor of Ho Technical University, Professor Ben Nuga, who served as guest speaker, expressed concern about the growing get-rich-quick mentality among the youth, urged the teachers to discourage this mindset in their students, as it is becoming increasingly prevalent in society.
Unfortunately, today the get-rich-quick mentality has engulfed the young one. This mentality sadly creates the urge for the youth to cut corners in their quest for success or riches. It is our duty as teachers and mentors to be aggressive to eschew this mindset among the young ones, because it is fast becoming monstrous within the society. Lead an exemplary life by demonstrating collaboration, knowledge sharing, and teamwork. In doing this, you communicate to prospective mentees the value of mentorship and engaging in exercise to gain practical experience.
Deputy Minister for Education, Professor Kingsley Nyako, highlighted changes in the current NPP manifesto regarding the teachers' licensure examination. He mentioned that the National Teaching Council will offer opportunities for those who did not pass the examination to retake it.
You write licensure examination, don't you? And there were issues regarding the licensure and all that. Some said that it should be cancelled. Some said that we should change the time of writing. In fact, what is going to happen is that the licensure per the manifesto that was outdoor on Sunday is going to be part of your program at your institution. And again, the National Teaching Council will also provide a window so that those who are not able to make it can have another chance of writing. And that there is no limit as to the number of times you want to write.
Ivy Satoji, Joy News, Peke. Now
imagine living by a river and yet you're forced to rely on sachet water. wells and rainwater to meet your daily needs. That's the harsh reality of residents of Anoba Beach, a community in the western region that has been impacted heavily by illegal mining. In our latest Hotline documentary titled Poison Rivers, features editor Richard Kojoyako travels to the community that are bearing the brunt of illegal mining activities. Here are excerpts of that documentary.
In the Anoba Beach community, polytanks stand like silent guards, collecting precious rainwater to sustain the residents. These tanks, along with a scattering of wells, are the lifelines for households, providing water for daily chores in a place where every drop is cherished. Despite the increasing cost of the sachet water, the community is forced to rely on it for drinking, a costly and unsustainable practice.
Those days, our mothers used to fetch it to wash their dishes, their clothes, for bathing, but these days it's very difficult for them to even fetch the water. You can testify it because it's very dirty.
Daniel Fiase is appalled about the lack of action to deal with the menace of illegal mining that is wiping out their livelihoods.
For now, what we have adopted is to get a community well, so that that one will help us, because relying on this water is not 100%. So we are no more relying on this water.
You live by the river, but you are not...
relying on it.
Do they still fish in this?
The fish, they are doing it, but it's not like those days.
In
because,
this river?
Yes, because since the water is very dirty and a lot of chemicals, it is also affecting the life of the fishes in the water, or the aquatic organisms in the water.
In the Shamar district of the Western region, 6 communities have become a testament to the havoc caused by rampant illegal mining. Over 3 years, diarrhea cases have surged alarmingly, from 5,000 to 10,000, a stark indicator of the deteriorating water quality. Communities relying on contaminated water sources are at risk of waterborne diseases. The long-term exposure to heavy metals, according to scientists, can lead to chronic health conditions, including neurological and kidney problems.
Anytime you mine gold, the soil, God created the world in such a way that once everything is locked up, we don't have problem. But once you disturb the soil and you pick the gold comes with arsenopyrite rocks. So once you pick the gold and take out the gold from it, the others are there to cause havoc. Those of us who find ourselves around this place, we are directly affected because we get our water from the Praia River. And today, the Praia River has become a mining hub. A whole factory of mining gold is at the Praia River. So we are directly affected. Even though all the water bodies that have been abstracted by Ghana Water Company are affected, we are the most affected. Look at the color of the Praia River. It's no longer a river, it's become a mud, more or less, with all these heavy metals and the mercury. And so it becomes a problem if we want to use it directly. But even the sachet water, we don't know how they are backed. Whether it's the same tap water that they go to hide somewhere. Everything is possible in Ghana.
Poison Rivers airs on Monday, 8:30 p.m. on the Super Morning Show on radio and on the AM show. Do make a date. Now, how about covering 26 kilometers in a wheelchair every week in your quest to access education? That's the story of Isaiah Mandewuku, a student living with a physical challenge at the University of Ghana. Now, despite Isaiah's mobility difficulties, he refuses to let anything stand in his way of his academic dreams. Enjoy News' latest Disabled series. Emmanuel Jivenu of our Education Desk shares his story of perseverance and ambition, redefining what it means to overcome obstacles.
In overflowing wrath for a moment, I hid my face from you.
Meet Isaiah Amanda Awuku, a first-year student pursuing statistics, mathematics, and economics. Every day, he embarks on a challenging journey to lectures, driven by an unwavering resolve to pursue his academic dreams. Despite the physical challenges he faces, Isaiah is determined to go higher.
When I wake up in the morning, and since the sun has risen and I am alive, so I know that there is hope. For our Lord said, put it on your nail, and I will put it on your head for you.
Sorry.
For most students, the journey to class is a routine, but for Isaiah, every trip is a challenge. He wheels himself over a kilometer to reach the mathematics department, navigating the hilly terrain of the campus.
I have to go up and down, so assuming there is no friend, then I have to do everything myself. And really this year all by myself is very tedious, that the department is somehow on a hill. Let me say it's on a hill. So I have to climb up all the way from Mensa Sabah to the department all by myself.
Every week, Isaiah covers about 26 kilometers between his hall of residence and his lecture hall. A grueling journey, but one Isaiah takes without complaint.
If you are not self-motivated, then you can't do anything with disability. At times I feel like, so what am I here for? I'm determined. I know for sure when I'm able to put in my possible best effort, then God will help me.
Despite the difficulty of his daily commute, Isaiah's commitment to his studies never wavers. He dreams of becoming a statistician, a goal he is pursuing with relentless focus.
I didn't look down upon myself that I'm physically challenged, so I can't make it in life. I always look into the future, and I see myself. So I even made my colleagues call me professor, because I know when I persevere, I'm going to make it in life. I'm going to make it in life. Disability cannot be a barrier to maybe my bright future.
Isaiah is driven by a passion to help his country develop, and nothing can stand in his way.
12 lectures a week, for which most of them are at the maths department, and I have to cover about 1.1 kilometer each. So in all, in and out for the whole week is about 26 kilometers. And covering this distance every week, at times I feel pain most times at my chest. After covering the distance, then I have to sleep for some times before I will be able to do something. So you can see, maybe after lectures, the time I have to use to study or revise, then I have to use that time to regain energy for maybe another lecture. Because of this, I don't have enough time to study, which is having negative impact on my performance. If I have electronic wheelchair, that I don't have to use maybe my manual power to wheel it, then I think it will help. The last time I asked about the price of the electronic wheelchair, is the lowest you can get is 15,000. My parents cannot afford this because it's expensive. And not alone it's expensive. My parents, actually, they don't look after only me. We are many. And because of their understanding of education, they want all of us to go to school.
For Isaiah, the pursuit of knowledge is not just a personal goal. It's a mission to rise above challenges and inspire others.
Since basic school, my friends come to me to help them with mathematics questions, and anytime they come, you see, it's not that I'm going to teach them for teaching's sake. I'm also going to learn something new. In the future, I want to become a renowned statistician, that I can work with the government to, the Ghana Statistical Service, not only for Ghana, but a professor in statistics, I can maybe do other things outside the country. But mostly, my passion is to help my country develop.
Isaiah Amada Ewuku's academic journey is a demonstration of resilience, faith, and an unshakable belief that no obstacle is too great to overcome. He's a living proof that disability is not a barrier, but a challenge to be met with grit and grace. Emmanuel Juvenus report for Joy News.
Yes. Yo, what's up?
Well, non-governmental organization World Vision Ghana has presented snack sprayers that can also be used to extinguish fires to farmers in the Kansina Nankana West District of the Upper East region. The group is optimistic this will combat bushfires. There's more in this report by Albert Story.
Addressing the opening ceremony of the 9th Biennial National Delegates Conference of the Ghana National Association of Private Schools, which was held in the Techima municipality of the Borno East region, National President of the group, Professor Damaso Stores.
I'd like to apologize for that wrong insert. We'll bring that to you in subsequent bulletin. But we know that the Joy News National Media Dialogue will take place later today at the Nat Hall, focusing on the importance of defending media freedom, especially as it's 100 days to Ghana's December 7 general election. Well, Ghana has set and seen a significant drop in media freedom, falling from 30th to 62nd in the World Press Freedom Index between 2021 and 2023. The event themed Defend Media Freedom will gather stakeholders to address this decline. The dialogue will host several high-profile guests, including the Inspector General of Police and members of the diplomatic communities, as well as political parties. It will be live on the Joy News channel, on Joy 99.7 FM, and across all our social media platforms, Joy News on TV. It's happening 4 p.m. at Nat Hall. The dialogue gets underway at 4 p.m. So please join the campaign. Use the hashtag Defend Media Freedom, just like I'm wearing right now. We'll be back with more here on News Desk after this break.
Journalism in Ghana has a proud history. From the early days of independence to the modern era, journalists have played a crucial role in exposing corruption, championing human rights, and informing the public. But in recent years, this role has become increasingly dangerous. A troubling wave of violence and intimidation has targeted those who dare to hold power to account.
Two journalists and a driver of Ravers, a subsidiary of the Multimedia Group Limited, have been attacked by purported watchmen of the Sewa Regional Hospital in the region.
Management of CTFM CTTV has petitioned the National Media Commission over the alleged brutalization of one of its journalists, Caleb Kuda, in the custody of national security.
A journalist with Sky Media Group at Takrade in the Western region was on Tuesday severely beaten after he sought to find out why a policeman who was sitting on a motorbike had no crash helmet.
Since 2012, the number of journalists who have faced abuse, threats, and even death has risen sharply. In March 2018, Latif Idrisu, a journalist with Joy News, was brutally assaulted by police officers outside the headquarters of the Ghana Police Service in Accra while covering a protest. He sustained severe injuries, including a fractured skull. Until date, the perpetrators have not been found.
They pushed me in there and they joined and beat me up with sticks, with their legs, with the back of the guns hitting mine. Yesterday I asked him to take a shot of that. They hit me with the back of the gun about 3 times at the back of my head here. They hit me with sticks in my rib.
On January 16, 2019, investigative journalist Ahmed Hussein Swali was shot and killed by unidentified assailants in Accra. He was part of the Tiger IPI team led by Anas Arimiyao Anas, which had exposed corruption in Ghana football. The assassination sent shockwaves through the media community, leading to fears about the safety of investigative journalism in Ghana. In 2019, Edward Adeti, a Star FM journalist, was threatened after exposing a corruption scandal involving a judge. Following the publication of his investigation, he received threats and his safety was compromised. In May 2021, Caleb Kuda, a journalist with City FM and City TV, was arrested and allegedly assaulted by national security operatives for filming abandoned state vehicles. His colleague Zoe Abubedi was also detained for receiving the footage. In April 2021, David Tamaklu, the editor of WhatsApp News, was arrested on charges of publishing false news. This was seen as an intimidation tactic to silence critical journalism. In July 2021, Erastus Asaredonko, a journalist with Love FM, was threatened with harm by a member of parliament after his testimony before the committee investigating the Ejura disturbances, where 2 people were killed during a protest. The threat against Erastus drew attention to the risk journalists face when reporting on politically sensitive issues. During the 2020 general elections, there were multiple reports of journalists being harassed, intimidated, and assaulted while covering the elections. Some were attacked by party supporters, while others were detained by security forces. Apart from these, scores of journalists in Ghana have been attacked and continue to face attacks. Latif Idris, one of the journalists who was attacked in 2018, has not fully recovered from the ordeal. The attacks on journalists are often linked to their coverage of sensitive issues: corruption, illegal mining, political misconduct, among others. The lack of accountability is a major issue. Many of these attacks go unpunished, creating a culture of impunity that emboldens those who wish to silence the press. The future of journalism in Ghana depends on our ability to protect those who seek the truth. As new generations of reporters step onto the field, they must do so with the confidence that their safety will be guarded and their voices will not be silenced. For those who risk their lives in the pursuit of truth, we owe them nothing less than our full support and protection. The fight for press freedom continues today, tomorrow, and always.
And join the hashtag with Defend Media Freedom GH on all our social media handles. Be a part of this push for change as we bring all stakeholders together to try and get a commitment towards defending media freedom ahead of the December 7 election. And you have to be a part of this campaign. It's coming up at 4 p.m. Nat Hall today. Be there, join the campaign on social media, hashtag Defend Media Freedom GH. Now let's do some other stories. Residents living at estuary of River Akobra have been sharing their experiences of how persistent pollution of the river by illegal mining continues to affect their lives. They say the direct mining on the river and its surrounding areas is leading to loss of fishes. For fishermen, it's a Herculean tax because they are now losing their jobs. They are reduced to access. They are now facing reduced access to quality water, and tourism opportunities for the legendary Akobra town is now on the decline. There's more in this report by Love FM's Erastus Asaredonko.
Excuse me.
Sebi, Makana 3 times.
Anoba River, situated in the western region of Ghana, flows through the Dwabuso and Nzema East districts. Direct mining on the river in many of the communities along its path has reduced its integrity. The Anoba is contaminated. The 2023 testing of samples from various catch points revealed high levels of arsenic, chromium, cadmium, lead, and other harmful metals from galamsey. I know of MMDCs and MPs in some communities who have employed people to do galamsey for them. Even some chiefs in some communities do galamsey.
At the estuary, where it joins the sea at Axim, residents of Anoba town are bearing the brunt of the pollution.
This is what remains of a once beautiful, clean estuary where the Anoba joins the sea. It is now a milky, polluted river joining the sea here. And it is denying a lot of residents here jobs, tourism, and livelihoods. We are here to find out more.
Assembly member for the area, Patrick Isua, confirms the illegal mining operations in and around the Ankobra are eroding the economic gains of the community.
Due to the Galamsey activities, we have lost 3 things. One is tourism. The second one is the source of water. And the third one is jobs. Why am I saying so? Because it has affected us economically. Yes, so we are suffering. We are suffering because of the Galamsey activity.
The fishermen and the women who sell their catch are out of jobs.
Previously, we used to catch some fishes here at the estuary, but with the onset of the Galamsey, all of them are gone. We used to fish August, September, October, November, December, 5 months, but now we can only fish for 2 months and we are running at a loss.
Houses at the estuary have flooded recently. Former assembly member for Ankobra Town, Mr. Moke, believes the silting of the river by Galamsey is to blame.
Now the Galamsey that they are doing is very closer to the Ankobra River. So that's why it's causing the flood in the community, because the sand that they dig and the river that they heap over there flows into the Ankobra River, and now the river is being wide. So the water that comes from the top to this place is more than previous one that we have been seeing. So the Galamsey is directly, that's what is giving us problem in this community.
The constant pollution of the Ankobra River by Galamsey is a violation of the right to clean and potable water. Until government finds a solution to this, people's lives will be affected. From the estuary, Ankobra Town, reporting for Joy News, Erastus Asaredonko.
Erastus Asaredonko filed that report. It's time now for business, and Winston joins us in studio. Hi, Winston.
Hello, Posty.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I like your top,
Yes.
We are on media freedom.
Exactly. We're defending media freedom today. So join the hashtag on all our social media handles. But what's happening in business?
We have the update from the Bank of Ghana and some basic business stories.
Take us away.
Awesome. Now, in our first business story, the Bank of Ghana has indicated that it will continue to clamp down illegal lending apps used to threaten people who default in paying bank loans. According to the central bank, it is illegal to threaten to expose pictures and publish other confidential data of borrowers. Speaking at the Momo at 15 FinTech Stakeholders Forum, the director of FinTech at the Bank of Ghana, Kwame Opon, cautioned that the central bank will not allow unauthorized products to destabilize the financial sector.
In recent years, technological advancements have paved the way for innovative financial solutions. Mobile banking, digital wallets, and blockchain technologies have become instrumental tools in extending financial services to previously underserved populations. In Ghana, interventions such as MTN Momo has successfully rigged in a significant part of the informal economy into the financial regime, offering a wide range of services. Speaking at the Momo at 15 FinTech Stakeholders Forum, Director of FinTech and Innovation at the Bank of Ghana, Kwame Opon, cautioned that the central bank will not allow unauthorized products such as illegal lending apps to destabilize the financial sector.
Nothing should be introduced into this country that causes instability to the financial sector, does not somehow put the integrity of our economy at risk. That's first and foremost. Secondly, nothing should be coming into the country that somehow jeopardizes the livelihoods of individuals and businesses. And particularly, there are several kinds of innovation. Let me give you an example. You see those illegal lending apps who've been sending messages to consumers just because people need a little bit to get by. That is innovation in the wrong direction.
Chief Technology Officer at IT Consortium, Ebo Anamwa Mensah, called on regulators to embrace emerging technology to boost innovation.
They are taking learnings from what's happened in other countries. Today we know that crypto is the easiest way to hide money, right? And criminals love it. But it also has very good benefits for good, right? And so for the regulator, they need to find ways to make sure that they have sufficient guardrails that when it's being used, it can be used and to perpetuate even more fraud or money laundering, so on and so forth, right? So I understand their point. I'm also looking for ease to be able to innovate, but there has to be a balance.
Meanwhile, Chief Executive of Mobile Money Limited, Shaibu Haruna, noted that his outfit will continue to implement safety tools and deepen education on fraud to improve trust among customers.
It is our resolve that we enhance the trust equity of our customers for service by maintaining the integrity and reliance and reliability, as a matter of fact, of the service, and also ensure that when there is a friction, customers have a recourse mechanism in terms of restoring them of their value. And based on the discussions that have happened today, I think the common theme that we are carrying across is to work collaboratively as industry to find better recourse mechanism to enhance the experience of our customers.
The Momo at 15 FinTech Stakeholders Forum was held on the theme Building Trust and Cooperation Among Stakeholders, how to maximize the impact of emerging technologies for the promotion of financial inclusion.
Business Development Architect Professor Kwame Addo has indicated that Ghana needs efficient institutions and refined attitudes to increase productivity and spur socio-economic development. According to him, Ghana's economy can thrive when challenges are tackled holistically. He spoke to Joy Business at the launch of his book titled Vision of Africa.
Book gives a vivid outlook of Ghana, West Africa, and the entire African continent's natural resources, which could reveal lasting opportunities for development. Professor Kwame Addo revealed key resources, potential zones of confluence, and interactive infrastructure pathways such as trans-African highways, railways, energy, dams, seaports, and airports.
It's a book that sets us on the history trail for us to understand where we came from. Secondly, it delves into how we've been positioned in terms of each country and what they have to offer for the rest of the world. There's also the key issue of development, which has always been hindered or hampered by different issues. And we should also note that Ghana is no different from many of the other countries who are running through similar problems. The idea of this book is for us to see ourselves as one and start to forge ahead with a collective mindset. The book delves deep into the issue of mindset because that is where the final frontier is. Our minds are what is driving whatever we are doing.
The book, dubbed Vision of Africa, seeks to reach out and share with leaders, policymakers, business communities, sub-region and the world at large on Africa's unique circumstances and possibilities.
Right, so today we'll be focusing on development from the Finance Ministry, where the Finance Minister, Dr. Amin Adam, will be highlighting the state of the economy. And we'll be sure to bring you that in all our bulletins subsequently today. And also back to Faustino for the rest of the bulletin. Fausti.
Thank you, Winston, for bringing us that. And also join the campaign. Remember, Defend Media Freedom GH is the hashtag on all our social media handle. That dialogue is coming up at 4 p.m. at Nat Hall. My name is Faustina. So have a pleasant day as you enjoy the rest of our program.